Now, what about the pteridophytes? Pteridophytes are the first true terrestrial plants. Now, first of all, we will see what is the meaning of the terrestrial. The plants which grows on the land surface. Such type plants, they are called as the terrestrial plants. Now, these plants, they are divided mainly into root, stem, leaves. Root, stem, leaves. The plants won't bear the flowers, fruits. And such type of plants, it shows the dominancy during the Paleozoic era. Before lack of years, during the Jurassic period also, when the dominancy of the dinosaurs were there on the planet called as the Earth, before 5 crores of years ago, the whole planet was dominated by the pteridophytes. Now in these particular plants, the xylem is there, the trachea is there, no doubt. But the cambium was absent. And due to that, it won't shows the secondary growth. Only the tracheids and the sieve cells are there in such type of plants. After the pteridophytes, the next evolution of the plant which was shown, that was the gymnosperms. I will see in detail about the gymnosperms. If we see the gymnosperms are mainly of two types. We'll see the best example of the cycas. It is one of the gymnosperm, no doubt. The plant is divided into root, stem, leaves. And furtherly, these particular plants called as the gymnosperms, they bears the seeds, but the seeds were totally naked, means the seeds are not enclosed in the ovary. The seeds are totally naked. We cannot see such type of seeds in case of the angiospermic plant. Means in the angiosperms, the seeds are present in the fruit or inside the fruit. I would like to give you some example of seedless fruits. For example, banana is there, the grapes are there. Nowadays the lemons are there in the market, which are seedless, means the seeds are not present in the fruit. We cannot make the next generation by using the seeds because the seeds are not available in the nature. Then how we are making their clones, how we are dividing their population by means of vegetative type of propagation, or by means of the tissue culture. Many techniques are there nowadays, the modern techniques, and by means of that tissue culture, we can manipulate the various types of genes, and we can produce the different types of characters in the plants, and we can sow in the field, and we can make, or we can make the more yield, we can take the more yield of the plants. Might be any plant, that it might be the fruit, vegetable or anything. Now, if we see the example of the gymnosperms, the best example is the pinus. The best example of the gymnosperm is the, and pinus is there, sequoia is there, metasequoia is there, Texas is there, Ginkgo biloba is there. That is the name of the plants. And now I would like to tell you one example of the pinus tree of the sequoia exodium. If we see the height of the particular plant, it may grow till up to 300 feet. And if we see the girth, that is the diameter, the radius of the stem, it may have the diameter of 125 feet. And in California, one of the red wood trees there, that is of the sequoia. From under that tree, the highway has been passed. This is type of large, huge, giant trees there in the California. And what we get from such type of plant? So we get the turpentine oil, if we see the importance. We get the rich wood, by means of which we can produce the expensive furnitures in the houses, which would lead to a heavy duty. Definitely, no termites will be there in that particular wood. Might be the other. Means if we see in the cycas, small plant is there, shrub-like is there, which is unbranched. But if we see the coniferous trees, they are branch one, and they grow huge, and they shows the good economic importance. The wood is very soft, and you can make a very fine art of any type of design on such type of wood, and that wood is very rich, and it has a great importance in the market. So after that, the gymnosperms, they are further modified into angiosperms. Now, this is the final division called as the angiosperm. What is the meaning of angiosperm? Angio means enclosed, and sperms means the seeds, or the seeds which are present in the fruit. And the angiosperms, again, it is mainly divided into two classes. This particular division is divided into two classes. One is monocotyledon and another one is the dicotyledon. Now, what is the meaning of monocotyledon? In Marathi, it is called as ekdal vanaspati, and the dicotyledon is the dvidal vanaspati. If we see the examples, the jawar, bajra, rice, these are the examples of the monocot. And if we see the example of the dicot, that is the pea, gram, such type of plants, they are the best example of the dicot. Now, the dicots are more protein rich as compared to the monocot. Now, if we compare between the dicot and monocot, what we can see, if we see the dividation of the different categories of the plant body, and if we make the classification of the plant body is mainly divided into four parts. That is the root, stem, leaf, and flower. Now, the plant bears the flower, it means that definitely the flower will be converted into fruit. But many plants are there in the nature which are fruitless, even though they bear the flowers or they produce the flowers. For example, China rose. Okay, the plant is zygote. Now, by seeing the leaves or the nature of the leaf, we can definitely see that either the plant is monocot or dicot. Somebody will ask me the question, म्हणजे झाडाकडं किंवा झाडांच्या पानाकडं पाहिल्यानंतर आपल्याला ते झाड एकदल आहे का द्विदल आहे हे पानाच्या रचनेवरनं आणि त्या झाडाच्या मुळाच्या रचनेवरनं मी किंवा एखादा शिक्षक त्याच्याबद्दल सांगू शकतो किंवा एखादा विद्यार्थी त्याच्यामध्ये सांगू शकतो. आता काय नेमकं कसं ओळखायचं? हाऊ वी कॅन आयडेंटिफाय if the plant has the parallel veneation? How is the parallel veneation? Suppose this is the leaf, this is the midrib, main vein, and these small veins are parallel. When any plant bears such type of parallel veneation leaves, such type of leaf, such type of plant is monocot. For example, jawar, rice, bajra, wheat, whatever it may be. And if any plant, if it has such type of reticulate type of veneation, this is called as parallel veneation, this is called as reticulate type of veneation. Now, what is the meaning of the reticulate type of veneation? You can see The veins are not parallel to each other. The veins shows the netting. It's like a net. Means no perfect venation is there. You can observe the netting is there. म्हणजे शिरांचं जाळं त्याच्यामध्ये आहे आणि असं जर शिरांचं जाळं त्या पानाच्या मध्ये असेल तर त्या पानाला आपण काय म्हणतो याच्यामध्ये रेटिक्युलर टाइपचं व्हेनिएशन आहे. दिस इज द डिफरन्स बिटवीन दी बोथ व्हेनिएशन. अँड नाव वी कॅन सी or I will tell you the difference between the root system. If there is advantageous type of root system, advantageous म्हणजे तंतुमुळं असतात. त्याच्यामध्ये ज्वारी असेल, गहू असेल, बाजरी असेल, हे झाड उपटल्यानंतर आपल्याला खाली तंतुमुळं दिसतात. Means such type of roots are there. Small, fine roots are there. This is called as advantageous or fibrous root system. Another one name is there. And if we see the root system called as tap root system, this root system is totally related with the dicot. Never such type of root system is there in the monocot, and never such type of root system is there in the dicot. This is the major difference between them both. Now, this what I have told you just now is the difference between the monocot and dicot. And these are the two main classes in the angiospermic plants. And the last evolved division is there. That is called as angiosperm. Now, how the animals, how the plants is most evolved plants. Now, if we will take the example of me, I am the most evolved animal in the whole animal division or kingdom. Means what? That's why many people they use the word such as सगळ्यात बुद्धिमान प्राणी हा माणूस आहे. What does it mean? It means that the human, that is the one type of animal which is more brilliant, most evolved. He have conquered the nature, he have capacity to conquer the nature. No other animal is there who can speak, who can think. He does not have such type of skills. We have such type of skill. So we are most evolved animals. And the most evolved plants are the angiospermic plants, which produces the flowers, which produces the fruits. This is the main difference. Now finally we are going to see what is the meaning of alternation of generation. The plant shows the alternation of generation. What is alternation of generation? Sporophyte and gametophyte, or sporophytic generation and a gametophytic generation, these are the two types of generation which comes alternate to one another. Means first, who is diploid, who shows the dominance, that comes first. Means the plant body is sporophyte and the plant produces the gametes. That is the male sex organs and the female sex organs. These two types of gametes, when they are produced by the plants, then that type of generation is called as gametophytic generation. It may be haploid or it may be diploid. Diploid means 2n number and haploid means n number of chromosomes are present in the particular plant cell. 2n means diploid condition. N means haploid condition. This is the difference. And always keep in mind the sporophyte is diploid in nature and the gametophyte is haploid in nature. Means male, female, N, they comes together, it forms 2N. And when the 2N is formed, it forms the whole body of the That's why when these two generation, that is diploid generation means sporophytic generation and gametophytic generation, they comes alternate to each other one after another, that type of generation is called as alternation of generation. You can call it as a alternation of generation. Is both the generations which are present in the plant body, when they come alternate to each other, generation to generation, that is called as alternation of generation. And the alternation of generation is mainly of three types. Which are those? Haplontic generation, diplontic generation, and haplodiplontic generation. Is what? Haplontic or diplontic, haplontic generation means during the mitosis process, when the haploid condition is there, which produces the haploid condition, that is called as haplontic generation. Diplontic generation means after mitosis, when the diploid condition is present in the cell, that is called as diplontic generation. And what is haplodiplontic? During the mitosis, when both the processes takes place, that is haploid as well as diploid, they are produced. These both conditions they are there, or such type of what we can say the chromosomes are produced. That is called as haplodiplontic condition, and mostly you can see the diplontic condition in all the animals. This by the process called as what we can say in the diplontic condition means continuously the diploid condition is maintained by the process called as mitosis, and this mitosis process is or it takes place only in the somatic cells, that is the body cells. That's why our body increases day by day. The same condition that takes place in case of the plants. Mostly the diplontic condition is in the animals. Haplodiplontic condition is there in case of the algae is there, or some plants are there, and the diplontic condition takes place in the fungi and some algae. So type of what we can say the conditions they are present